It's good to see everybody. So, let's do it.
So how long has it been in the process of working this, and how does it feel to get it done and be signed for this long?
I don't really know, I'll be honest. I was just in Italy with my wife, enjoying our honeymoon, and then, like last week got a text. So just let my agent handle it, and I just handled the honeymoon.
How cool is it to think you're going to be part of a legacy? Jason, Trey Thomas, you. I mean, this is now going to take you into 10 years or more as an Eagle. How cool is it to think about that?
It's first and foremost, it's an honor to be even, be able to play at one club. I've always wanted to be a player that's played for one team and one team only for their career, and there are so few that get to do that. And so, to be a part of history and be a part of the club and the culture that we're trying to continue to build is an honor. And I'm very grateful to the organization, grateful to Mr. Lurie, Mr. Howie, Coach Sirianni, Coach Stout, and also Big Dom. I told you guys Big Dom's a big part of this organization. He's also a big part of my life. And the other person who's a big part of my life is my wife. So very thankful and grateful for them, for their support and their love.
Do you ever think, like, how far you've come since you were drafted here in 2018, never playing football before, 7th round pick, to where you are now?
Sorry. I'll write him up. Just gonna. I think, to be honest, I don't really reflect much on that. What I've learned in this career that I've had is we're so on the go most of the time, and I think this honeymoon was the first time that my wife and I we took a step back and we just reflected on the blessings that we've received, and I think it was important to recognize how far that I've come into this career that I chose 7 years ago. 6 years ago.
You've had such a unique path to get here. How do you stay grounded from that guy who was just learning to do everything from sort of square one to where you are now?
Part of it's the way I was raised by my parents and my siblings. I recognize the opportunity that I have every day when I step foot in this building. It's an incredibly humbling one because I came from humble beginnings, and so it's when you recognize the opportunity that you have, you want to take full advantage of it, but you also got to remember where you come from. So that's an easy part for me to come inside and do this, but also my wife, who's at the back there, always holds me accountable for a lot of things, and she always says that she likes to when my head gets too big, deflate it. So that's also another big part, finding somebody who's going to keep you grounded when you can't do it yourself. But also just the culture in this locker room. We want to build something special. And the people in this building every day that we go to work with and we interact with, I mean, they're some of the greatest human beings I've ever met in my life. So it's easy to just be comfortable, be you, and be the best person you can be, because ultimately that's what we strive to be, right?
You said the honeymoon was the first time you got to really sit and reflect. What did you find yourself focusing on in your reflections?
That I was in a honeymoon in Italy. I mean, 6 years ago, I could barely afford a train ticket, and now I was in Italy in a nice hotel, in many nice hotels, and that's kind of when I was like, oh wow, you've come a long way, and you've still got so far to go and so much more to prove, and I'm excited about it.
So much attention goes to those first 3 years you had, but these past 3 years since that first contract extension, you've kind of developed from the starting left tackle to one of the top in the league. What's happened in these past 3 years specifically that's allowed you to get this contract?
Coach Stout is a big part. He doesn't accept mediocrity. And so when you have a coach who has high standards, and especially players in the room. You know, I'm very fortunate to be in this position because I've had Jason Peters, Brandon Brooks, Big V, Isaac Silmalo, Stefan Wisniewski, Brandon Graham, Chris Long, like even guys on the other side of the ball. I've had great role models, mentors, and teammates that I played with who have helped mold, you know, the person and player that I am today. Coaches, Coach Peterson, Coach Sirianni, Roy Istvan. Like, these are the guys, Coach Chung, even, my rookie year. Guys who took time to help mold the player that I know I can be and that I've become. But again, it all starts with the coach that I have in that room right now and the culture that he set. So players like Jason Kelsey and Lane Johnson can uphold, and so that we can see, when I was coming up, you could see the standard of play that was expected in that room. And so you either sink to the bottom or rise to the top. So, yeah, it's because of Coach Stout.
Do you look forward to maybe becoming one of those guys like Kelsey and Lane Johnson if they're drafted offensive tackle, for example?
Yeah, I mean, you know, Jason Kelsey and Lane Johnson are the cream of the crop. And, you know, being able to be teammates with them for the last, 6 years of my career has been a blessing. But, you know, any opportunity that I can get to lead from within, I will always embrace. Yes, I do look forward to an opportunity. You know, obviously there's a big vacancy that, the people's champ and the people's mayor has retired. And so, you know, I'm just looking forward to coming back here and building something that we can look forward to, build on what we ended on last year, and just keep building on to what, Philadelphia means. The city is a gritty and passionate city. And if you don't understand that as a player, you're in the wrong city. You're in the wrong team.
What were your thoughts when they signed Saquon?
Babe, where were we? I was in the middle of the restaurant. I was talking to my wife. You're not babe. You're not babe. You're definitely not babe. I think I was, we were in Italy somewhere, and we were at dinner, and I just get a tweet saying, we just signed Saquon Barkley, and I started losing my mind. I was like, what? And like, I started swearing because, I'm still working on trying not to swear, but let's say I was swearing in Italian. Maybe that might be more believable. And she was like trying to quiet me down, like, what's going on? What's going on? And I was like, well, we just signed Saquon Barkley. Like, I don't know how Howie Man does it. I don't know how he does it. Boss Man just does his thing. So I was pretty stoked about that. Not going to lie to you.
How about Landon's contract?
Oh, yeah, I mean, me and Landon talk every day, so I was pretty excited for my mans there, man.
Yeah, the thought of knowing that you two will be together now for the next 5 years, how much does that mean?
Means the world, man. Landon's one of my best friends, and I love playing with that guy, man. He gives everything, and he's a smart player. A lot of people don't give him the credit for having the wits, but that dude knows football, and I think that's why we mesh so well together. Our personalities on and off the field, and I love that man, even though he's one funny character. I mean, watching his press conference after he got his contract was hilarious, because I'm just like, that's him. That's him off the field, and on the field, it's like the same dude.
As far as the timing, what made you want to do this now as opposed to playing out the year or getting closer to free agency?
Well, it kind of was like definitely wasn't like something I was thinking about. More like we met in the middle, and I just let my agent handle it. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Do you remember how you felt? I guess it was 2020, San Francisco. I remember we got to talk to Stout, and it was your first start. It was going to be your first start. And he said, I think he's ready. I hope he's ready. Did you feel ready at that time that you were?
In 21?
I guess it was
2020?
Yeah, against San Francisco. First start.
Did I feel ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I look back, I remember I was telling myself I was ready, but was I really ready? Probably not. Back then, looking at it's just hard to when you now have gotten into a routine and you understand what to expect and the standard to play. Getting your number called is a tough thing, and it's nerve-wracking. And so the only thing that I was thinking of, preparing myself for that game was to not let your teammates down. And that helped me feel prepared. Does that make sense? Yeah, because I definitely was like, okay, telling myself, trying to get myself ready for the game. But the one thing that was constant during that game when my number was called was don't let your teammates down. Know your role, know your technique, and execute.
There's been an influx of international players that have been coming over, especially this year with the new international pathway program. What's your thoughts on that? And do you feel like what does it feel like being like one of the people to pave the way for that? Do you feel responsible for it?
I think it's a huge opportunity. One, for those players and those athletes coming through the program to, show the world and show in America that, they got what it takes to play in the league. Two, I think it's a great opportunity for the NFL to build its brand internationally because, I've grown to love the sport that I'm in. And, I think it would be a shame if we didn't capitalize on the other countries and talents that, other countries that provide these talents that I know that are out there, So I think it's a great opportunity. How do I feel about it? I mean, I'm honored to be one of many who have made the step, in this game to leave their home countries and try and make a career out of this, both on the coaching staff side and player side. So there are many people who have, who are international players and coaches. So, I'm honored to be one of them and, to at least pave a way for the young guns coming through. So
Thanks, Jordan. Thanks, everyone.
thanks, guys.
Congratulations.
Go Birds.